So my bindle, I have wrapped in a winter blanket. I have our pots and pans, which are surrounded by the two buoyancy vests for Wigglesworth, and
Where if I need to go swimming.
for that, but also so it muffle the sound of the pot pans, so people think that's what's in there when I swing it at them like a giant fucking mace.
Oh.
That's me
I like
casting
thought that
shillelagh.
efficiency.
Yeah, that's my way of casting shillelagh, which is also loud while doing it.
Alright, so we begin in the High Ridge Inn in High Ridge Village. It's part of a region known as the Silver Peaks. It's pretty high up in the mountains, and the air is crisp, sometimes thin if you wander too far up the mountains, but it's known for its rich mining towns, especially the silver mine nearby. Has a fairly close-knit community. This particular village is surrounded by pretty rugged terrain, picturesque landscapes, and a good view of the valleys below. The most notable landmarks, of course, are the volcanic regions further to the, let's call it south. We'll call the direction that it gets hotter south, the direction that it gets colder north, and we will orient relative to those. The mountain range runs north-south, and you are on the western side of it. There's a pass through it, the Moonlit Pass, but it is treacherous, and the people on the other side speak a different language. The tower that you can see in the distance from here perpetually has a swirl of cloud around its top from which your grandfather used to control the weather. It is now taken over by a halfling associated with the town's watch and is being used as a watchtower. The place, High Ridge Village, is most marked for its smithy called the Silver Anvil, a spring on the outskirts of the village called the Crystal Spring, a miners' guild hall, and a market where goods are brought in from elsewhere and traded for either ingots or worked goods. The people here are dwarves, humans, few elves and halflings, and a smattering of gnomes, but mostly human. The difference between gnome, halfling, and dwarf is contested, shall we say. An extraordinarily burly halfling might pass for a dwarf, an extremely effeminate dwarf might pass for a halfling, an extremely nerdy might pass for a gnome. A dwarf with an eccentric mustache might pass for a gnome as well. They're all subspecies of one another.
All
But from
species of
here,
subs.
a whole species of subs.
Man.
What was our safe word?
It was lost to time.
It was lost to time. There's the sack of gold that you've got, the equipment that you managed to pull out of the armory and, well, the disused armory and magical stores of your grandfather, the wizard owner of the tower. From the inn. The inn itself is bustling. It's a log cabin sort of affair. It gets pretty cold here. You're in a continental region, warm summers, cold winters, certainly temperate, but you're also pretty high up in the mountains, so cold is the order of the day. Also, from what the smell, venison.
Turn off already.
Would you call it a blustery day?
I would call it a blustery day. It's certainly gusting outside.
Wigglesworth have the kind of teeth that would allow him to eat venison?
I believe larvae have digestive parts, digestive juices in their animals, so I think so. Just very small amounts at a time.
'Cause
Like, I
was just
imagine they
Go
can
ahead.
eat, like, leaves and stuff, so Like, caterpillars can eat leaves and stuff, so I imagine, relative to size, you could probably chomp into a steak.
Oh yeah.
Horrifying.
I
I did
am a
that.
full-size bug man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
knew this when you made me, father.
I look down at my hand. Done.
What has science done?
What it was meant to. This is just
But,
the way tree to.
The tower that you were in overlooked the moonlit pass, so you've all led relatively sheltered lives, except for our hedgehog here, who did go off to magic school, and so might have a bit of an education.
Maybe we should buy a map.
Oh dear God, no.
Not a map,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. This will tell us
Yeah.
to get to the next town.
certainly.
Or a guide.
You did get money you did have the gold that was set aside. You received a bit of an inheritance, shall we say, of 1,000 gold. Some of it was spent on supplies, but it was also to be set aside some for guides or protectors. So, I mean, there's a market that transports goods from here to elsewhere.
Maybe we could find work as guards. And then we'll find another town without having to pay for a guide.
I don't know how I feel about fighting. That
We
doesn't.
may have to, Bob. It's a dangerous world out there. Why, one time at the university, I nearly got mugged. Me, a silly little guy.
He is quivering rage.
First order of business, going back to the magic school and finding whoever that is to beat them up.
Then we'll have money too. And bones. We are nature. Harming us is harming nature. Nature. Grippy's coming for your bones. Young, old, especially the old. Not especially. As a soft spot. 6 feet under the earth.
Well, from the inn, where are y'all going? After seeing the horrifying display of Mr. Wigglesworth munching some venison.
Ah!
Eh?
What direction are we thinking about going from here? I presume not south, but what's the other directions from here?
So, north is further into the Titan's Ridge, which is the mountain range that you're in. It would be rugged terrain and not exactly feasible. Not a lot of routes going directly north. Out to the west, however, is a river basin filled with winding tributaries and rivers and streams dotted with intervening hills that's called the Serpent's Nest.
Why, why, why do they call it the Serpent's Nest, Thrace? He looks around nervously.
It's called the Serpent's Nest largely because the extraordinary number extraordinary number of convoluted rivers. Because the place is so hilly but has so many rivers, they coil in and around one another, often coming within a mile of connecting before veering away, only to rejoin miles and miles and miles down the road or down the stream. There are snakes, but not a lot of them. It's too cold to have a thriving reptile population.
That sounds nice.
But yeah, down the rivers leads to Heartflow Basin, one of the more populated parts of the region. The only other real trail heads south to Emberwatch. But it does also veer off to cut through the savannah to head far west towards the Shadow Valley.
It seems westward into the nest of snakes, metaphorical, of course, is our best option.
A nice walk by a river.
I really don't like how that sounds, but I put my entire life in both of your hands constantly, so it's coming with.
It's our duty as parents.
Wigglesworth will take two of his fists and do one of those. I don't even know what you call that. You can see it.
We gave you life without consent.
Isn't that how everyone's born? Did someone
Yes.
consent to being born?
I want them caught and
Thrayce, I have
interrogated at once.
God, question. My ancestry is you're so cute, and my background is impressive performance.
Trained in performance and gain the impressive performance feat. On performing for humanoids, +1 circumstance bonus to make an impression with performance.
To just make it real bad.
You are also apparently a bookworm.
Where do
Uh,
I put that?
Bardic lore. We're trained in Bardic lore, a special lore skill. The Bardic lore, special lore skill that can be used only to recall knowledge, but on any topic.
Oh, that's badass.
So, I mean, you are a moth, like a moth caterpillar. So, being a bookworm actually makes a bit of sense.
Which letter comes before which? I've completely forgot.
Depends on the letter. Sorry. No. Well, the dishes sit empty in front of you. They wander about, some of them giving you strange looks, as they are mostly humans and humanoids, and you all are very much not. But nobody's either they're too polite to say anything, or they know who you are because of the recent legal battles involving your inheritance and the Mage's Tower. It was a bit of a spectacle.
I want to go up and tug on one's sleeve, like just walk up and give somebody a little tug on their sleeve. An older person, somebody who seems kindly.
Yes?
Do you know where we might hire a trustworthy guard or guide? We're trying to find another town.
I mean, I'd imagine you'd check around the market. They got caravans I used to find work at.
Oh, what kind of work did you do?
I used to be an adventurer, you see. Then I took an arrow to the knee and I had to work in the mines.
Oh,
Congratulations!
at least you survived. That's
The adventurer or the mines?
both.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sir, I don't mean to be rude, but my eyes aren't what they once was. Are you a frog?
I am.
Okay. He looks at the drink at the drink he's drinking. Another one, please.
Is there any left in his cup?
Maybe like half a drink.
Can I use the steal action? I don't have much of a bonus, but I want to drink the rest of his drink.
Go for it.
Please don't get us run out of town.
8. I guess I just ask him for the last sip. Like, I reach towards it, realizing that he's too tall, and just be like, "Can I finish that?"
Sure, frog man. Here you go.
The name's Grippy Sock. My name and my profession. And then I go to set it like back on the counter like a cool guy, but I can't quite reach, so I have to get up on my tippy toes and just like slowly nudge it up there.
How are you? I had to go talk to Garrick. He runs a caravan headed out to the Heartland. I hear he's headed all the way to the Sapphire Coast. If you're heading that direction, I'm sure you can tag along and help pay for the guards, and sure they'll protect you too. And you don't seem terribly formidable yourself, but like you could probably command a coin or two to provide protection for them if you're feeling putty.
I look back. You have the same idea. That makes it a good idea.
Wigglesworth will punch his two sets of hands together, one fist into doing the fist into the hand, but with both sets.
Does this make us adventurers?
I think if we sign up, yes.
Is that a good thing or is that a disease?
Both. Thanks, old man.
You're welcome.
I'm 37.
What's the tankard made out of?
Horn. It's more a horn of ale than a tankard.
I'll give the old man an awkward bow.
Name's Crevon Oldman.
Thank you, Crevon. We shall remember you always. And I waddle out.
Oldman is a funny last name. I like it. I like you, Crevon. I hope your days are full of joy.
I come from a long and distinguished line of Oldman, and one youngman. We don't talk about him.
Oh, now I'm curious.
I said we don't talk about him. He can
Well, this-
hear us.
Oh, okay, I will do my best to forget that information.
His hand trembles a bit as he drinks the newly arrived horn of ale.
Wigglesworth will walk out behind Grippy and Dr. Thrayce and wave two of his hands and walk out the door and go, "Who was that guy?"
Crevon Oldman,
Oh,
former adventurer. He seemed like a nice old man. He was right.
thought old men die.
Eventually,
Hmm.
Thought that was like the only thing they could.
well, they also know many things. Do you know how many old men I interacted with at Wizard College? A whole bunch.
I don't know anyone who's old.
Well, now you know Mr. Oldman.
Seems like a good old man.
Time.
Are you headed out to the market?
I believe so.
It is, as established, a bit of a blustery day. The wind tugs at your clothes as it tries its best to push the cold through every gap in the fabric. It's not snowing yet, thankfully, but something in the air feels like it could any day now. The market is a seasonal affair, but the stalls are roped and staked down, temporary but strongly built. There's a lot of various metalworking here, but also food, livestock, most of which you can assume was brought up from the valley. The hardier crops that you've got up here are cheap, but tasteless to your palates.
I never cared for mutton.
Hmm. I prefer
But you can spot pretty easily the long distance traders with their armored caravans and big, sturdy draft animals, most of which are horses. There are two pale-eyed lizards the size of Clydesdales that are uh, in their own makeshift fenced-off area next to one of the caravans.
Dr. Thrace just says and continues.
them's my cousin, maybe.
90% of the time, Bob just looks like an infant with that glazed over, looking at everything, the look in his eye.
Important.
I'll look for, I guess, maybe I feel uncomfortable with the whole lizard cage thing. Would somebody else mind doing the talking with this guy?
Certainly. I straighten my little bow tie.
Grippy will make a quick promise to not say anything.
The dark-skinned drow who is returning with a couple of attendants with hand-drawn carts full of goods is approaching the armored caravan with the lizards in their pen next to it. He is marking down each of the items as his attendants load them into the caravan. Dr. Thrace, little hedgehog buddy, describe your character and what you're wearing as you approach the caravaneer.
Yes. Dr. Thrace has his set of fine clothing on. It's a little tailored vest and shirt and a little pair of breeches that go down to his knees. It's neatly tailored from the city where he went to college, and he's got a little bow tie and a wide-brimmed, very obvious wizard's hat. Do I have any cantrips to make this look even better? But yeah, other than that, I'm just a little hedgehog.
Well, looks over at the little hedgehog as just briefly. I would stand back if I were you.
Oh,
Tony and Tina, I've trained them not to leave the cage, but that does not mean they're incapable, and you do seem a morsel.
I understand. I warily eye the lizards, but I grit my guts and look up to the drow and say, I heard from an ex-adventurer in town that you all caravans go in and out of town and out through the valley. Is that true? Me and my companions are looking to leave town.
Ah, no, I think you're looking for Garrick. I am not.
Oh, my apologies. Could you point me towards Garrick?
If you wish and care for the easier road, I'd go to Emberwatch. But yes, head that way, other end of the stall. He tends to keep his horses far from Tony and Tina here.
Later, Tony and Tina.
He gestures at the two Clydesdale-sized monitor lizards.
Are they dangerous?
Oh, very. Trained, but highly dangerous. I got them from a distinguished breeder in the Shadow Valley. They're trained to see in the dark, you see. That's their primary purpose. But secondary, they make extraordinarily loyal and lethal pets. Not in that order.
Dr. Thrace nods, holding Mr. Whiskers tight in case Mr. Whiskers gets any silly ideas, and guides her friends in the direction indicated.
Over on the other moment, Garrick is a portly man, balding with a embroidered vest. He's got a cape made of colorful bird feathers, and the caravan is armored, yes, but gilded more so. It looks like the thing is eye-catching, shall we say. Colors and objects painted and mounted are all over the thing. It's got several flaps and awnings that are open to reveal goods inside. There's jewelry, oddities, a mechanical-looking bird sitting on the edge of one of these little stalls off to the side of it. There are a couple of harassed-looking assistants manning the stalls and doing their best to haggle with customers over some of the hard-to-price goods. Garrick himself is over at a table off to the side of the caravan itself. It's more than a wagon, but less than like a caravan's like a multiple thing. What's the middle word for that? In any case, carriage? No. Anyway, but off to the side with a table and a looks to be a young elf. You can't tell her age by any means. If she were a human, you'd guess that she was 13 or 14, but it's difficult to guess. She is pulling objects one by one out of a belt pouch that she's got. It looks like it has a bunch of different pockets all around it. And setting them one by one as Garrick inspects them and marks them off. Who's approaching? There are no dangerous looking beasties around this one.
I'm willing to, but if someone else wants to jump at the chance, I won't stop them.
If either of y'all want to take the lead, I'm more than happy with that.
I was just watching for now. Still trying to feel out who I am.
It's okay, Bob. Take your time. It's weird being sentient.
Is that what it's called? I just thought
Yes.
I shit my pants.
I'll straighten my little bow tie and approach. Wait to be acknowledged. Don't want to interrupt whatever this transaction that's going on is.
He'll look up as if whatever he's doing can wait. We have guests. Hello, little friends.
Oh, my name is Dr. Thrace of the School of Civic Wizardry. Me and my two companions here are looking to leave town and to figure it's best to go with friends. Are you accepting passengers in your caravan? Or perhaps
Uh,
new adventurers?
Passengers, perhaps not. Adventurers, I could always use. I could always use an extra couple of capable hands. Doctor of Civic Wizardry. I do like having a wizard on the team. Can I ask for your credentials as adventurers? Anything I would have heard of?
Unfortunately, we're rather quite new. We lived in the wizard tower right over there. And can we see it from here if I point it out?
Oh, yes.
We grew up in the tower over there, but we've decided to strike out on our own. That's
Oh,
all.
I did hear something about that.
Our douchebag brothers.
Yes. Pity that. In any case, did you perhaps manage to hoard away any trinkets on your way out the door, or did they manage to take them all? The elf says, Garrick, they're asking for passage. They're not trying to sell them. Stop looking for a mark. Oh, yes, Alara. Apologies. Adventurers,
Our brothers
I
will
would
probably be selling stuff.
I may have to send word. Elara, mark it down. Let's see here. You three, I'd imagine. You seem to be a bit of a group.
Indeed.
These are my parents.
Stranger things have happened. Well, I'm not certain that I would want to take along 3 green adventurers, such as yourselves, and your fuzzy self, Doctor. Perhaps if you were to prove your bona fides, if you were to prove your mettle a little bit, as it were, I could bring you on without bothering my conscience too much, should you die along the way.
How would you
Float like a
suggest we do
butterfly,
so?
sting like when I pee. That's
I
normal,
take it none
right?
of you is a cleric, then.
I'm a druid.
I make pretty noise.
Very pretty.
Well,
Thank you, Father.
there is something I've been itching for in the area for a couple of years now, but I haven't run into any adventurers nearby. Off to the north, not too far, a few leagues I hear, there is a place called the Starlit Caverns, or the Starlight Caverns. I'm not entirely sure which. Either way, said that the place glimmers. It said the place glimmers like it's made of moonlit diamonds, even down in the deepest dark. There The rumor is that this is because of an extremely rare kind of gemstone with magical properties that lies near the bottom. I would dearly love to add that to my collection, but the place is hazardous, I hear. Nothing that's bad enough that the locals have paid anybody to clear it out, but if you could retrieve one or more of these gemstones for me, I'd be willing to take you on my next caravan west. I should be leaving in probably about a week. I've got to send word to that mage tower. But I would also be willing to pay you for the gems.
This sounds like an excellent idea. What do you think, Grippy?
I love it. Stone 2 birds with 1 sling.
We shall go search for this cavern and return post haste. And I stick
You
out
know,
Wonderful.
my hand for shaking.
He will shake your hand and say, the place sounds easy to find by the rumors. Head a day north, and on a cloudy night, you should be able to see the source of the cave. Apparently, it shines into the sky and it's visible from miles off.
Okay, and it was 1 day north?
One day north.
We should stop somewhere nearby and purchase some pitons before we head out.
I have some. I have an entire climbing kit.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so real quick for gear that is in, there's a backpack in the wagon that has an extra bedroll, crowbar, grappling hook, hammer, rope, soap, torch, water skin. There's also fishing tackle and 2 weeks rations in the wagon. I keep a climber's kit, and that's for what's just in the wagon, just from my stuff. And then I have a standard adventurer's kit as well as climber.
Yeah, I have a I've got the climbing animal ancestry, so that will probably help us. And I've got an adventurous pack as well. It's got the most important thing, I guess, for this would be it's got 50 feet of rope in it.
Yeah, and between my various bags, we have, there's 50 feet of rope in the wagon, and then I have 100 feet in my backpack, plus the 50 feet in the climber.
We've got rope for days.
Or that's the rope that's in the wagon, right? Because I realized having 150 feet of rope on my person would just be cumbersome in the actual, size of it.
Prankex did it one time with all the shit they had strapped to them.
Oh, and a smoke stick, because you never know when you'll need a smoke stick.
The environment that you're in, a smoke signal could certainly go a long way. Plus, of course, concealment, or I'm not entirely sure what a smoke stick's great for.
It creates concealment, so it allows you to take the hide action using it as a distraction. It gives you whatever concealed gives as a bonus against ranged attack. You can make a room very unpleasant very quickly if you just want to ruin a dinner party. Personal favorite usage of a smoke stick.
And since smoke rises, we'll be the last affected.
Take that, you tallies. Ooh, speaking of Italy, I found this really delightful watermelon wheat ale or wheat beer. So instead of it's like a blue moon, but instead of having the hints of orange, it has hints of watermelon.
Oh,
Delightful. And it's only 4%. So it's...
I legit don't even care.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that my microphone wasn't in my headphones anymore, so my phone was in my lap.
Oh, you're all good. Can still understand you. No, I swear to God, if I told you everything that had happened in the last 6 months, you would tell me I'm making shit up.
We might need a little bit more rations because I realized I have technically 4 weeks worth of rations on me, but that's 4 weeks for one person. I mean, I do have a pretty high survival skill.
well, each
I've also got 2
adventurous kit
weeks.
comes with 2 weeks.
Okay, perfect. And I mean, we're traveling with a merchant, so we can ask him before we leave, even hey, are we going to need more rations for this trip? Or if he's paying us, he's probably feeding us.
It's a long trip, but if you're fighting your way, he'll probably feed your way.
Or at the very least sell us give us rations at a good rate. If the trip takes longer than otherwise, I could understand. If rations came out of pay, we got to eat.
I think we should head back to the bar and ask about rumors around this cavern. See
Brilliant.
what the locals know.
Yeah.
It was the Starlight Cavern job?
Yes.
Also, it seems like perception has replaced sense motive.
Also, the precise and vague on the senses is interesting as well.
Yeah, I don't know how that works at all.
It's specifically about vision is a precise sense, hearing is an imprecise sense, and smell is a vague sense.
Okay, so it's the same for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Unless-
some,
Unless-
dogs and things, then smell is more of a precise sense.
Right.
Gotcha.
At least vague.
I think I have an improved version of smell. Let me check my character sheet. That's
I don't have the precise, vague, or whatnot anywhere on mine.
if you click. Oh yeah, it's not on your. You're not using the same character sheet we are.
After this session, I'll make one on there.
That's okay. I spent probably 15 minutes trying to figure out where I put my how many cantrips I can have per day. No, the sheet was messed up. I'm a spontaneous caster. As many as I fucking want is the answer.
Yes.
You still have a number of cantrips that you can know, but yeah.
Yeah, I have sent imprecise 30 feet.
Because in D&D 3.5, they had it to where I think it was the War Mage. Their spell list was pretty limited. They maybe only had 15 or 20 spells per spell level, which comparatively is quite limited. But they were able, I can't remember, I think they spontaneously casted, but they got to spontaneously cast from their entire spell list rather than having spells known.
It was saying that for Bard, for spontaneous caster, which Bard is, so that once you pick that for that slot, it's stuck in for the day, but you can choose from the entire list.
If you had an action that re-gave you a spell slot, like a spell that you have already cast, is now occupying that spell slot. So if you had like a spell recall ability or something like that, it would only be able to cast the same spell that you've previously cast.
Correct, and I do have that ability. It is called Spell Repertoire. I am
Oh.
trying to figure it out.
That's actually really cool that they
Yeah, they thought it through.
yeah. Like it's a very crunchy system, but like I feel like once getting the hang of it, like I really like the action system.
Playing with y'all is always just the best.
Okay. Our good doctor unfortunately gets caught up in a conversation with the people you're trying to gather information from, and end up teaching them quite a bit about civic wizardry, but you don't actually learn anything about the caverns. By the time you have realized this, it's been like 2 hours, and it's time to meet back up. Grippy, or Wigglesworth,
Yes.
Bap,
Bad.
with a 17.
Mhm.
With a 17, you get that there are wolves on the way there, and rumors of a river troll.
Can I, after this is resolved, also roll up a lore check to see if I know any songs about the area?
Yes. It won't be a bardic lore check now, because that's what you got. You know that there on the way is a forest with wolves and a river troll. You need to cross the river.
19.
19. According to the songs, and the books that you've eaten,
It
The-
tastes like knowledge.
the best way to get past the river troll is oddly and is unfortunately also going to attract the wolves. Because in order to get past the river troll, you need to bring 3 goats.
So I will sing a quick snippet of the 3-goat shuffle and explain that we got to choose one or the other because one is going to piss off the other.
And Grippy will also hear about the wolves. You hear about the magical stone guardian is said to be able to be outwitted, but very difficult to defeat. Rumor has it's made of diamond.
Oh, bother. We shouldn't try and fight it then.
Let's diamond.
It is a
Rumor
very
has
hard
it. Rumor has it that the guardian is attracted to very shiny objects, which is ostensibly why it is guarding the cave. It's the shiniest object around at night. But at daytime, it wanders away, or sometimes wanders away. Depends on if there's something shiny nearby. Or melted cheese.
So it's more than ever in this pizza.
Well then, you meet back up at the table afterwards.
Oh, sorry about that. I was muted. I was responding. Would I be able to roll to see what I know about river trolls?
Yeah, that would be knowledge of nature.
Fantastic. +6. Which I need because I rolled a 9, making it 15.
15. River trolls, as far as you're aware, are just trolls that have found a strategic place to hang out because their weakness is fire.
Right. So fighting the troll seems like a really bad idea. So bringing the goat and fighting off the wolves, but like, have I had encounters with like maybe not like wolves, but I've probably had a few encounters with like some local wild animals. Like
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable reasoning with people as one who's attuned to nature, or reasoning with animals, than I do reasoning with people. I'm personally more worried about Garrick than I am the wolves.
But the guys, what if we just brought 6 goats and gave 3 of them to the wolves over in one direction?
That's a
I wonder how
brilliant idea.
expensive goats are.
I have 100
Right.
silver pieces. They're in my folds.
I'd feel
Be sure to take those out before you build your cocoon.
Bob will shake a little bit and then like a few coins will fall out.
We'll talk about this at a later date.
Oh man. So list of oh here we go. Purchasing other types of animals.
Couldn't quite hear you there.
I'm looking at the list of animals to see how much a goat will cost us.
Ah, yes.
And then if we just dump something shiny in the nighttime over somewhere and wait till the daytime, we'll be fine.
A cow is 4 times as expensive as a horse? What the fuck?
Well, no, milk, continuous use. I
Yeah.
guess distance is one thing, but continuous food is another.
It's not like a war horse or anything. Like, it's a horse. Whereas a cow, that's continuous food and then eventually more food. And especially if it's a female cow, potentially more cows.
There's no direct listing for a goat, unfortunately.
I'd
There's
say,
pig.
oh, what's a pig?
A pig is 5 silver.
Sheep is 2 to 20 GP.
I would say 5 silver for a goat.
Ooh, ha ha, hee hee.
Yeah, sheep have the same statistics as goats. It says at the bottom.
Yeah, I
Nice.
said find sheep.
Yeah, just get enough of both.
Yeah, there's something called the travel guide, which appears to have a lot of this information. Yeah, it looks like it's shit for merchants. Do you want to buy linen cloth? Buy the yard? Copper buy the ingots? We've got your prices. Now the question becomes, should we really bring live goats? Or should we butcher the goats? Or is that not kosher for feeding to a troll? Does a troll prefer live goats?
Yeah, I prefer to eat things warm.
Well, according to the song, you need a small one, a medium one, and a large one. According to the song, the third one will, if you have to give them one at a time, the third one will yeet it over the edge of the bridge, at which point you could run for it. But they have to be especially rough goats.
Sorry.
I believe we should find some gruff goats then. Am I aware of any ranches or goat herds around town?
I mean, it's mountainous terrain. There was definitely goats being sold at the market. That's easy enough to stop by and buy a handful of goats on a rope.
The nature skill is really good. Have you all looked at the command an animal action?
I have not yet.
I just
Yeah, I
learned
ended
how to
up
talk to
taking
my
proficiency in it.
rat.
Yeah,
So
you issue an order to an animal, attempt a nature check against the animal's will DC, might adjust the DC if the animal has goodwill to you, or suggest a course of action if it was predisposed, or offered a treat, etc. You automatically fail if it's hostile or unfriendly to you. If the animal is helpful to you, you increase the degree of success by 1 step, and then you can pretty much control its next turn.
Nice.
good goat.
Yeah.
Well,
But I
the
realized you can't increase its attitude without, well, with a treat, I guess you could, like if attacked by wolves. So maybe we also get like an extra large ration of like a butchered animal to like give to wolves that we come across.
Might be a good idea.
add an extra gold and get another goat's worth of goat meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have updated that on our finances.
You have 4 goats. Or you have how many goats you bring in?
6. What's what?
6 goats and 1 goat assembly required.
Wouldn't we only need the 3 goats to get past the thing, and then we'd just take the 1 goat for meat for the wolves?
We should bring a 4th one just in case, but I agree we don't need all 6.
Yeah, so that would be another. It's 5 silver per goat, or
Yes, 5 silver per goat. One gold for a goat's worth of butchered meat.
perfect.
Gotta pay the butcher too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a lot of labor, and you have to kill this thing that you raised. I realized I was muted earlier. The other reason a cow is 5 times expensive as a horse is because cows take a long time before they are mature enough to produce anything. Like
Yes,
cows
that's
are
very
almost
true.
like a year plus before they're able to produce milk and be any sort of usable meat.
Horses produce fast much earlier.
Yeah. especially because their
Mhm.
production is primarily labor. But if you did want to butcher a horse for meat, you could do it at like like 8 months?
Yeah,
Yep.
no, somewhere around there.
But goats in hand, y'all head over to the stable where you've got your cart and donkey.
Yes.
Was it a donkey, a mule, or a horse? What you got?
I think it was a horse, but I can't remember if it was a donkey.
I think
Either
it was
way,
a horse.
can we name it Bartholomew?
I don't see why not.
That's what I name all of my steeds.
Grippy, as you've been the one to buy the animals so far, what does Bartholomew look like?
One of those shaggy horses, you know, the ones with like the boots,
Yeah.
the very
Clydesdale.
floofy ones. Yeah,
Oh, that one's big, especially compared
Yeah.
to y'all.
yeah. He big as fuck. I
You
like
guys come up
to.
to his knees.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm very good at jumping.
And luckily he's not for riding, he's for pulling the cart.
Yeah, but I'm
You all
very
are small
slow.
enough that you can easily fit in the cart with all your stuff. The goats, however, will be walking along behind.
I don't mind walking with the goats. That way, I can also keep a less obstructed view of the surrounding areas.
Unless, of course, you are leaving the cart and horse behind.
I mean, I think it would be good to bring just so that we have the extra equipment. It'll, like, you know, if we're by rivers and stuff, we'll be able to fish for food, save on some of our rations and stuff like that. What do y'all think?
Fishing is a fine way to acquire sustenance.
It's me.
And it's just so cute. Also, selfishly, Grippy doesn't want y'all to walk and get blisters on your little feet, but he's too proud to say it.
Oh. Well, then off you go, unless anybody got any last stops in town before you're heading out.
Nope.
I don't think so.
You are then headed down the forest path overlooking the starlit plains. It's been, the morning you got the paperwork settled out, supplies bought. It's probably about 2 in the afternoon at this point. You start out and along the path with the forest up ahead of you. You can see the river that flows through it going down into the valley below as you start pulling your way through the forest path. It isn't a road as such, but it does look like it's been traveled recently and trampled down by hooves over and over and over again. So while not an official road, it is certainly a path that you can, with some care, get your cart down along. Is there a survival analog that we've got here?
Survival.
Looking for the action for
There is no direction or sense direction and subsist. Covered tracks or cover tracks and track. So I guess we'd be going sense direction because we need to go north.
Makes perfect sense to me.
sense
Oh,
direction would probably be it, yeah.
13. Oh, I didn't even think about a compass. It says without a compass, you take a minus. I didn't realize that was an item that I had to take. Otherwise, I just take a -2 item penalty checks to sense direction. Can I get a compass before we leave town? Because I've never thought about that. I've just always used survival and didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you can realize that you need one and run back real quick.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, forgot. Why is that not in an adventurer's pack? Like, that seems so crucial.
Right? That's, yeah.
If we
Especially
need to
the
travel,
adventurers. Fuck.
we need to know which way's north.
A signal whistle I can get, but not a fucking compass. I guess compasses are probably more expensive than I'm thinking they're going to be.
It is
Get a magnet and a needle.
pre-electromagnets.
Oh yeah, 1 gold. Okay.
That's literally the
So
house I need to get.
DC 15.
Oh, I do not make that.
I got an 11 if that helps.
How about Dr. Thrace?
Survival?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, survival. Sense directions.
I'm looking it up. Give me un moment. There we go. 11.
11. Well then, for that show.
It's for the whole day.
Typically, you attempt a survival check only once per day, but some environments or changes might necessitate rolling more often. Damn.
Perception checks then. You got a +6 Wigglesworth.
I do.
Same.
I got an 18.
Nice.
I got an 8. I'm distracted by the goat. They're just so cute, and I'm sad that they're gonna die. So I'm literally back here trying to find, like, instead of wondering what they are, I'm, like, over here rolling, like, looking for plants that I think they'll enjoy to eat, because I'm, like, just back here apologizing to the goats that I'm about to sacrifice them.
24.
24. Very nice.
Thank the God.
There's a sound. You are starting to think that you might be lost, but the feeling is interrupted by a high-pitched yipping sound. It doesn't sound so much like alert or excitement, but more fear. And then it is immediately silenced. Wigglesworth, you can see something shimmering in the air in the path up ahead, and movement far ahead in the darkness. Dr. Thrayce sees it for what it is, a spider web crossing the whole path. The thing must be 10 feet wide, maybe 15.
I quietly nudge for B to have the donkulus stop and attempt to quietly point out the web and say, "Look, an arachnid's home."
Dr. Thrayce, you also see something glittering near the bottom of the web, near where the movement is. It's glittering and purple and about the size of a beach ball.
Okay.
It's about 100 feet off.
So, can I use nature to get the animals, like, are they freaking out at all?
The horse doesn't seem to have spotted anything. It's a little bit nervous from the sound that was just made. The goats don't seem to have noticed and are trailing along behind the wagon, so they haven't seen anything. The trail that you're on has narrowed more than you'd like, which is part of why you thought you might be a little bit lost. But there's certainly not room to maneuver the cart and horse to turn around very easily.
Okay. In that case, can attempt a survival to see if we have been traveling in the right direction?
Is there an instinct for a trap?
I think detect trap is certainly a thing, but that's more for magical traps or artificially made traps. A web is definitely a trap. You could identify that.
Yeah.
Or
Malice would be so much sure.
would there be something that could tie, like, the horse to, and then could tie the goats to the cart while we investigate?
I would imagine that the goats are already tied to the cart.
Right.
I mean, depending on where we are, though, we're running the risk of it getting jacked by literally anyone who comes through here.
You are several hours deep into the woods, and it's starting to get dark. You are lost, so you're pretty sure that you're not on a trail that is widely traveled.
It's a good sign.
So could I roll survival to see if we've been traveling in the right direction?
You made your survival check and failed it, so you don't know.
Well, because my other idea was to tie up the cart here and then just go up and check it out with a torch, because most animals are not going to be super stoked about that. It might be able to scare
Anyone
off,
dissuading you?
or at the very least be able to clear the web out of the way.
The only thing I
But-
worry about is if we need fire for the troll. I don't want to use too much of you.
Oh, I have 10 torches,
Oh, what?
but also we'll need to burn the web away. But Doctor, you said something about a glowing orb at the bottom of it?
There's something definitely at the foot of the web you should look at. It appears to be gleaming.
Can I roll perception to actively
look for
There's
this
a
gleaming orb?
seek action, I think.
See. Yeah, since perception isn't in my skill area for this, it doesn't show me any of the actions
Looking it
for
up right now.
perception. Yeah.
You scan an area for signs of creatures or objects. GM attempts a single secret perception check for you and compares the results to stealth DC as well as creatures. What's your perception bonus?
+6.
+6. Wonderful. There's certainly something glittering at the bottom of the web, but you can't make it out. It's probably dark purple, but you'd have to get closer to see. Can't quite hear you. I think you're a little far from your mic.
So my plan is, and I will reach into the wagon, digging around for a second before you hear like, ow, fuck, God. And I will pull out this long, wicked lawn dart looking thing. I sneak up and I throw this at it really hard.
What could possibly go wrong?
One of the many things I've loved about you over the years, Thrayce. Unabashed optimism. So
I'll stay about 20 feet behind you, so if anything tries to attack you, I'll give it a zap.
I will give you good vibes and bobble it up on you a little. Just a little bit on like your boots or whatever, and I'm gonna give you guidance.
Bless.
No guidance.
And I mean, your
Uh,
crossbow has a pretty decent range, so stealth. Ooh, dice gods are not super with me tonight. I think that's still a 6 or 16 bonus is 6 for double check. Quick takes a load.
Could I hand Mr. Whiskers off to Bob to aid with any composition spells?
Sure.
Because those require you to use the performance skill, and he'll give a +1 bonus.
I've got good one.
Yeah, I got +6 to stealth, so 16.
16.
Not amazing.
Sneaking up.
I'm trying to get about 20 feet away.
Okay.
And did you add your guidance to that?
Oh, 17.
17. Nice.
Torch in one hand, unlit currently, dart in the other. And can I have my flint and tinder or my flint and steel like just stuffed in the same hand that I'm carrying the torch with? So after I throw the dart, I can light the torch?
You light the torch when you get to 20 feet?
After I throw the dart. So my plan was to have the I was just asking if I could have the flint and steel in the same hand that I'm carrying the unlit torch.
Yeah.
Sick.
Okay. What's your AC?
But if I'm in open combat, 19 because of my crane stand.
You are not yet in open combat. Is there a flat-footed or something, or is it just
I
straight
think
up?
it would just be without my dexterity bonus, maybe, or maybe it's without your dexterity and proficiency, in which case 10, because I'm unarmored.
You know if there's a flat-footed mechanic?
It doesn't look like 2nd edition has a flat-footed, which is
Uh,
weird.
Condition. -2 circumstance penalty to AC. Some effects give you the flat-footed condition only against certain attacks. Some effects give you the off-guard condition. Oh, it's off-guard. Okay. Distracted or otherwise unable to focus your full attention on defense. -2 penalty to AC. Would bring you down to 15 at the worst. Yet either way, you get to about 20 feet away from the glittering purple and gold beach ball looking thing at the bottom, at which point it spits a couple of strings of web at you. Both miss, but it is hissing and spitting at you, and it is a beach ball sized abdomen of a spike. There is a small wolf half wrapped in webs at the bottom of the web. It's got its front legs up at you, waving aggressively.
Hmm.
I can use one set of hands to burn the web and the other set to try and pull the wolf out. There's always a chance that it will just bite my head off because I am there.
So I said I was going to be a little bit behind Grippy. Am I on the way in that direction already?
Yeah, because I'll say you're about 10 feet behind, about 30 feet away from the thing.
Oh, that's the range of my electrical arc.
Where is Mr. Wigglesworth? Trailing along behind another 10 feet?
I'd probably be close to Dr. Thrace, but probably 5 feet behind just because again I have a 20-foot walk speed.
Yep, gotcha.
For as many limbs as I have, I'm slow.
Well, you have to take a step with each individual foot.
No, I never thought of that.
That's why riding
Just-
horseback is so funky, trying to count the steps. Oh my god, it feels so weird.
Now think if you were a snake, because
love
some
to.
snakes use their legs their ribs as effectively like a million little legs inside of them. They, yeah.
They're just not gyrating, but I can't think of the word, but a muscle.
Undulating?
hmm
Undulating, thank you.
Yeah. One large undulation. Ugh.
Yes.
I
Yep.
have mad
that is how
respect
they
for
move.
snakes. They terrify me deeply. Which apparently a 14-foot snake was recently found in the water. There was a news article today, and I opened it because it was like, Albany police sheriff wants to clear up some details about 12-foot snake found in the river near Albany. And then the entire article was just the sheriff being like, it was 14 feet. I was hoping it would be like, there was no 12-foot snake. Everything's fine. And it was like, there was no 12-foot snake. It was 14 feet. Fucking kidding.
It was this big.
Make me a nature check.
Nat 1.
This is a common variety house spider. You shudder to think what kind of house has these in it commonly, but that is as far as you know its name.
I will say that confidently to the good doctor and Sirrah Bob.
It is
Good
sniffing
sir.
and making aggressive motions towards you. It does not seem to be running to attack you.
But it did spit web at me.
Wait, it's shiny, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Don't squash its abdomen. Okay, this means I will need to get close, doesn't it? Because this dart will be too inaccurate. I just gotta crush its head, right?
Good old head stop.
Yeah. Well, luckily for you, it's what birds do best. Beast form, go! And I'll spread my arms wide and start flapping them and slowly do like the Karate Kid stance and start hopping towards it on one leg, squawking like a bird the whole time.
Roll me
Can I-
initiative.
See nothing wrong with this.
Call 6.
Right? Look at that.
Is it just your dex mod here?
I have no idea.
Described in chapter 9. Or roll at page 13.
13?
Yeah.
So it is confirmed for just dex?
Tell me what page chapter 9 is on, assholes.
Typically, you roll a perception check to determine your initiative.
Oh,
Really?
so mine is 9. then.
Sometimes GM might call on you to roll some other type of check. For instance, if you are avoiding notice during exploration, you'd roll a stealth check. A social encounter could call for a deception or diplomacy check.
Oh.
In this case, I would say perception.
Then I got a whole 8.
21.
9.
Holy shit, that's the first time that's ever fucking happened, guys. Holy shit.
Somebody check the temperature of hell. All right, Bernie, you got what?
20.
21.
This one's going in gay baby jail.
All right, and Thrace,
Oh, I got an 8. Am I muted? Hello?
Grippy, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
Right. 6, 12. Wigglesworth, you have the initiative after Grippy takes the first action. It saw you moving forward, used its equivalent ready actions or whatever to try to spit at you, but it missed. So, Grippy, you have 3 actions. One of them, assuming your move speed's 20, it's going to be required to close.
I will do that. I will close. And then thing doesn't speak the same language of me. Oh, but I could use my intimidate to like continue making bird sounds and try to scare it in that sense. Okay, so I am going to use intimidation, demoralize. I get a -4 because it doesn't speak the same language. And if I succeed, it becomes frightened 1. Which I got a 15 plus 3 for 18 against its will DC.
See that? Will is +4. So I'm going to say +11 would make most sense. So DC 15?
I rolled an 18 total.
18 total. Then it has frightened 1. So it's got a -1 to take a status penalty equal to this value on checks and DCs.
Hell yeah. And then
Unless specified otherwise, the end of each turn, the value decreases by 1.
it is now immune to being demoralized by me for 10 minutes. And then, yeah, I'm going to try to crush its little stupid fucking head with my crane style.
Attack!
And magic dice go. It is 9.
Math.
6. So
What's the result there?
15 was the total.
15 total. Its AC is 16. You just barely miss.
Oh, well, my armor class is 19.
And now it is Wigglesworth. You finally got a clear look at the thing. Make a lore check.
Gotcha. Ooh, 22.
22. Fantastic. This is a dream spider. Not terribly deadly. Its venom is hallucinogenic, as is its webbing.
Wonderful. Then I will relay the song The Night I Shit My Pants and explain. I also have something called, it's great because it's called counter performance. It's an instant, and all I wrote was distraction reaction, because if you face an auditory or a visual hallucination and you're rolling a check against it, I get to perform the same type, either audio or visual. And if I do a better performance check, then you don't get distracted by it. Like, you don't have to roll your will save.
Oh, that's oddly specific, and I
Distraction
love
reaction.
it. I love that.
Specifically inflicts the stupefied condition.
Oh, that one makes it really difficult to cast spells. I do.
Is that a mental attack?
No, it's fortitude based.
And I am going to attempt to cast Sleep on the spider.
Attempt to cast sleep on the spider. Okay. You're gonna have to move forward a little bit to get in the area.
No.
It is a 5-foot burst. Each creature in the area becomes drowsy, possibly nodding off.
Oh, each creature?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fuck
That's
that.
fine.
Is a 5-foot burst.
Okay, well, I guess I can come up on the opposite side of it, yeah.
The spell doesn't
No,
prevent
'cause of the
creatures from
web.
waking up due to a successful perception check, limiting its utility in combat.
Yeah, you want to sneak attack someone with the spell sleep,
Sure.
since it's aware of us and has attacked us.
But even if they succeed, they take a -1 status penalty to perception checks for a round. So useful in certain situations.
You do
then-
have your focus cantrips, yeah?
Yeah.
The anthem of whatchamacallit that you've got may be useful, because that'll just give us all a buff for combat.
No, I know, but the only other one I have is the distraction reaction, which if we're going up against something that uses illusion,
That's true.
and I've only got one focus spell. So I think I will just go ahead and cast Forbidding Ward on Grippy, protect ally against one enemy, and I will do that against the spider. It's not sanctuary, so you can still hit it.
Haha.
Casting Forbidding Ward on Grippy, so the spider cannot hit Grippy, but Grippy can still hit the spider.
Okay.
It's not
So now
Sanctuary. I specifically did not cast Sanctuary because I want Grippy to be able to hit it.
All right, then let's check that real quick. Sustain for a minute. Yeah, that's it.
So Grippy gets +1 to his AC and saving throws for now,
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
specifically
AC
against the
of
big
20.
spider.
Figure out what sustained means as far as duration.
I believe it means until next turn. I was reading about.
No, it means sustained up to 1 minute. I imagine that's concentration or something like that.
Yeah, sustain is an action.
Okay. Sustain is an action. So it takes 2 actions to cast it, as with most spells. And an action to
It's a
sustain it.
cantrip.
Cantrips only take 1.
The only cantrip I have that
Subdue.
takes 2 is Telekinetic Projectile.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
All of
I have
mine take 2.
Ghost Sound, Guidance,
Uh,
Shield, and Forbidding Ward are all in one.
It looks like 2 here.
Yeah? Okay, I could be wrong.
Because it's got the 2 triangles next to it. Forbidding Ward, where is that?
I was looking for sustain.
Oh,
It's a cantrip. Back there.
growing pains. I am liking this system. It does definitely feel like halfway between 3.5 and 5e.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the
Right.
best of both systems.
Fitting Eat Fins, Feeble Mind, Line, Forbidding Ward. Yeah. So,
Okay, so it does take 2.
yeah. The little two diamonds next to each other.
I know.
I was saying that more for everybody else's. But that means you use your move action and those 2 to cast the thing. Next turn, you'll have to use a single action in order to sustain it.
Okay.
So it means that you could technically sustain and cast another spell, as long as you don't move. And then you could sustain both of those spells, but you couldn't cast another one.
Right, okay.
Unless you somehow gave yourself extra actions, but I think based on this thing's insistence on the 3-action economy, that it probably won't be that easy.
Mhm.
But with it feels halfway between Cult of the Lamb and Hollow Knight. The little grub here floats a couple of inches above the ground, eyes glowing, fiddling, and a cult ward up here is around Grippy. Eating too many wizard spellbooks will have strange effects. Probably a part of why you were father's candidate. Spike.
That sparks joy.
Instead of squishing the caterpillar, it kept eating the spellbook. So he's like, okay, you're next. I shall curse you with sentience.
That's terrible.
Wonderful. Next up is Spidey turn. I have definitely been doing this attack wrong. So get ready for 5 higher than that one before. All right.
Terrible. I hate it.
Your AC is going to try to fight you. That's 17 to hit, will not hit. 17 plus 7, however, will hit. No, not 17 plus 7, 17 plus 2.
Oh,
So
that does not
19
hit.
will still hit.
No,
No, 20.
AC 19.
20 because of my.
Oh, yeah, only
Yeah.
because of your Forbidding Ward.
Yep.
I'm
playing support this time.
No, that worked out really well. The
Finally got
fangs,
support.
the fangs are about to sink in to your leg, Grippy, but one of the shimmering symbols dancing around you gets in the way.
Bless.
That's my daddy.
I squawk loudly like a bird.
Oh my god.
Fantabulous. And then Grippy.
All right, I am going to Flurry of Blows. First one is a 8, so second one will be at -5, which is 18, which is 17 plus 1. And you said armor class was
16.
Yeah.
Yep.
blessed. So that'll hit. That's for a d6 plus 1, bludgeoning damage. 2 points. Oh, it also would have had an additional -1 to hit me.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
that it
from
mattered.
the...
Frightened, but it is no longer frightened.
Fantastic.
Did we change Wild Zone
Or
to be something other than Druidic?
No, it's essentially druidic.
Okay, because it was
This says it's basically anathema for a druid to teach someone it.
Correct. Which is certainly why you didn't learn it from.
You see what I mean now?
Yeah, I think that it's more a fill-in for caterpillar speak, being able to talk to caterpillars
Extremely useful.
and moths.
Okay.
It took a whole feat to be able to talk to rats.
Uh, rats are more common.
Rats are more common.
I don't think I have anything else to do with my other two actions.
I mean, can't you punch it again?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess I could technically make two more attacks. The next one's going to
Just
be
at
at
a minus
-10 because it counts for 2 of my strikes for Flurry of Blows. Unless this next
Ah.
one would be at a -5, because it says multi-attack penalty applies as normal. So unless that would mean my first 2 attacks, since it's one action, would have no penalty, and then my second strike, like actual strike action, that's what I'm unsure of. Is like, does that mean I get
No, it allows you to make 2 strikes as one action.
right?
So apply your multiple attack penalty to the strikes normally. So
It would
I
be
guess you
0,
have
5, and then 10, 15.
I guess, yeah.
All right, well, let's see if I roll a 20. I roll a 1.
Okay. Well, you can't attack for the rest of the. You lose the rest of the turn as you trip on your robes.
Translation. Fuck.
Next up is Thrayce.
I settle my balls.
Fantastic. With my first action, I would like to make the seek action to see if there are any other spooters or monsters around besides the monster we are fighting and the wolf in the webs. 1d20 plus 5, for which I get 22.
For 22, you can hear howls in the distance. They're probably a few minutes out, at least, but there are wolves on their way. You don't see any other spiders, though.
Okay. Then with my 2 remaining actions, I'm going to cast Electric Arc, which is a reflex save DC 17 for the spider and the wolf.
Let's 16. The spider
DC 17.
doesn't make it. Wolf does not make it.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Each takes 2d4.
Fantastic.
Do you want me to roll separately for them or have them do the same? Separate? The first one is the spider, which takes 7. The second one is the wolf, which takes 5.
See, this is a damn good party composition. Love it. Classic. Tank, support, and a blaster.
It certainly sizzles a bit. That's definitely in the yellow. Next up is Wigglesworth. Are you going to take an action to sustain those glyphs?
And then I am going to use my,
30 feet out, side by side with Thrayce.
yes, I am aware. My telekinetic projectile can be thrown 30 feet. And it takes 2 actions. So I could throw a torch at the web, but I really don't want to piss off the wolf right before the rest of the wolves get here.
Make a perception check.
Yeah.
No matter what my perception is, that wasn't good.
Yeah, you can't tell the state of the wolf at the moment.
You can probably see I shot electricity at it, though.
That is true.
Oh, so it's not doing well.
It's tied up in a spider web and is finding this entire experience shocking.
And God.
And well, everything dies. So I'm
And
going
it's
to
probably
telekinetic a
that.
torch at the spider web.
The torch is
right.
not currently lit.
Say you're gonna.
Oh, well, fuck, I don't have the action.
Object interact. Yeah, that'll take an action. You'll have to yeet something else if you want to yeet something.
Well, I could also just throw it.
You could also just yeet the.
I could light it and throw it. That would be 2 actions.
That's true. That's true.
Same as telekinetic.
Yeah, except you are significantly less strong than your mind is.
It's
Chucking it 30 feet from your vantage point may not be the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, 30 feet is pretty decent ways to hug something.
with the length of your armbles and your starting height.
Then for my last, I guess, cantrip slot of the day, I will go ahead and cast shield on Grippy as well.
Okay.
Let me double check the details. Shield, +1 circumstance bonus to AC till start of the next turn, but does not use that require a hand to use. So it gives you an offhand shield.
Ah.
The shield has hardness 5. If you use shield block reaction, and then after you use shield block, you can't use it again. So it's a 1 hardness 5 reaction block.
Oh. But until you
That's
use that,
dope.
it's a static +1.
It doesn't have a range on it. I think it's self only.
Cast is oh yeah, damn. Ah,
That makes sense.
But it's only one action cast.
No, that's true. That's true. Then I guess I'll just do another guidance on Grippy. Give him another +1.
Wonderful.
I need it.
Then spider's turn. It's trying to bite. Fuck me. It tries to clamber up the web and away from you. You get attack of opportunity.
Reaction strike. $21.
21 will hit.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Wonderful. Its carapace cracks.
Oh.
It is oozing a bit and struggling to get further up the web and into the trees. Grippy, you're up.
Can I grab my second torch, light it, and then burn the web?
Yeah.
DM? I do that.
Yeah. You quickly light the torch and set it to the web.
Reverting to my frog
Fizzles
form, of
and
course.
burns. The flame catches up to the spider. Roll me a d4 for damage.
This is all mine. 4. Nice gods show favor once more. Knock on wood.
What you get?
4.
Fantastic. Yeah, the spider goes up, its legs shriveling as it lands back onto the ground on its back and twitches and then stops twitching.
Can I run over and attempt to use the nature skill to calm down the wolf?
The wolf is badly singed, and as you're looking down at it, it is high as balls right now.
can I use my distraction reaction?
That's perfect.
It's more the stupefied condition. It's not being distracted by a hallucination or illusion so much as it is it's high on shrooms because it's the venom.
That actually makes it much better, because then can I use my herbal medicine skill to treat wounds on this wolf?
Yeah, it is looking real bad.
Oh yeah, I was going to try to curry favor with the wolves that are on their way, so maybe we wouldn't have to fight them.
We've still got
But-
the goat meat.
It took
Yeah.
5 damage and then 4 damage.
We got out before it took any burn damage.
Has 24 hit points, so it's actually not looking that bad.
Oh,
Assuming it got like 4 damage from the bite. It's in the low yellows, but it's make your check to try to heal it.
so it does take 10 minutes, so the wolves are going to get here before I finish doing this. But I'm doing the thing, and I'm hoping and otherwise we also have the meat to try to, but I can't. Oh, damn, and I rolled a fucking 21. Oh wait, no, that's looking at medicine, because I was reading 24, because I use my nature skill. And if I'm in the wilderness where I might have easier access to fresh ingredients, I gain a +2 circumstance bonus at GM's discretion.
I will give that to you. Spiderweb actually has known antibacterial properties, although it is hallucinogenic, so it probably will say blazed.
Honestly, keeping the wolf high at this point is practically an anesthetic.
That's fair.
So
Well then,
20.
what's everybody else doing during that 10 minutes?
I'm going to be tearing the carapace off of the spider in as large of chunks as possible. So I'm going to be taking my time with my mandibles, really, really gnawing that shit off.
Okay.
Crafting, yeah.
There's a harvest crops action.
This is not a crop. So you harvest meat.
And
Survival?
basically, yeah.
For 2E, it would look something like this. Harvest, kill, exploration, requirements, training, survival. You take 10 minutes to harvest anything worthwhile for the bugs you miss and kill. And die within the last hour. Attempt to check using your survival modifier. DC for the task is target CO1. The materials found in this way can be sold for half the value. Please. So the earned income table on page 2J6. It's got at different proficiencies. You can do different levels of abandon. Says amphibious, aquatic, animal, beast, or plant.
Yes, beast, I would say.
Then yes, I can. Oh, no, I'm actually not proficient in survival, but I can't.
Does it say that it's an action you have to be trained for? Otherwise, you can still
Yep.
roll it.
No requirements, trained in survival.
Damn.
I thought I was, but I'm trained in stealth.
We lived in a tower. Why would we train in survival?
Nothing useful, but maybe something shiny.
That's what I want.
Sorry for
pretty
putting y'all in
chunk of-
danger.
Hmm.
I
That was
literally,
danger?
the fact that y'all are having to stand here, but I literally cannot lose the cool ass ability to a bird like my left eye.
You're a little far from your mic.
Yes, I am. I put it in my pocket. I was saying I literally just couldn't leave this wolf here to die. I'd lose my ability to turn into that cool ass bird like you all just saw.
That's a bird.
Well, God, during these 10 minutes, I'd like to run a small experiment.
Yep.
Taking a crossbow, I lay it on the ground and next to it a crossbow bolt. And then I take Mr. Whiskers. So for Mr. Whiskers, I gave him, where is it? Of his 3 abilities, he's got accompaniment to aid the bard in performance, dark vision, and manual dexterity. Manual dexterity allows it to use 2 of its appendages to make manipulate actions. Can Mr. Whiskers reload a crossbow? Reloading being a manipulate action.
I think
I looked it up
probably
and they
yes.
haven't ruled it. It's up to the table. He's not a independent little guy yet, so in combat I would have to spend an action for him to be able to do it, but he does get 2 actions if I command him to take an action.
Yeah, I would say that he wouldn't be able to do a heavy crossbow. Definitely a hand crossbow. Regular crossbow. What's his strength score?
There isn't a stat block for an individual rat that I can find.
Oh,
I found a
rude.
swarm of rats, but we may have to... Oh wait, no, here we go. No, it just says members giant rat and rat swarm.
Okay.
The strength of a
It
rat
takes a
swarm is -2.
it takes a good good amount of elbow grease to winch a crossbow.
Maybe it takes double the action.
Yeah, I would say that it would take 2 actions.
Fantastic.
I just picture him sitting there against the little crossbow, just turning the little wheel. Oh
Because what
no,
I'm
that's so
imagining
cute.
is if Mr. Whiskers hangs out with Bob, Mr. Whiskers could reload your crossbow for you if I spend my
Oh.
action to do the reload action. So you wouldn't have to reload your crossbow if I get Mr. Whiskers to do it for you. He's just a silly little guy. He can't win the
Just
fight, but he'll wind your crossbow for you.
That's pretty cool.
Shortly after you finish conducting that experiment, starts to get nervous.
Go see what the
And
horse is nervous about.
wolves, wolves is what they're worried about. As they begin to emerge out onto the path, there is a scream and a frantic bleeding from behind the cart.
But they got one of the guys.
I give Bob my crossbow because I don't need to. And get ready for a fight.
Got us. And I will load one of the crossbows. And well, why haven't we put the food out yet?
Yeah, I suppose that's an option too.
Yeah, I thought feeding them was the plan. Why are we fighting them?
There's a burning torch on the ground
I
in the
suppose we
middle of
should
the
try
path.
feeding them first.
The seer drop, Druid.
Am I not still healing the wolf?
Yeah, he's healing the wolf. I was saying, why aren't we spreading the meat?
Well, it's about
and
10
I mean-
minutes later. You've done about as much as you
Oh.
think you can do.
Oh, perfect. And so it would recover 3d8 hit points, or 4d8 hit points.
The thing's at
If
full.
it was a critical success, 2d8 if not. And then, oh yeah, then absolutely. I will run up with the meat, obviously not run, but I will go up cautiously using my nature skill in the meat to try to, and I have the torch in my other hand, like semi-establishing dominance, but also being like, hey, offering you a trade, like we can fight, we can get it popping if you wanna, but also I can just feed y'all. It's like, if you want that smoke, I got the fire, but like, if you're just hungry, I'll feed you.
Take a +2 circumstance bonus as the injured but blazed wolf that you just treated comes stumbling out from behind you over to the other wolves.
So that would be 18 then.
Between body language, the meat that you've got, chucking it into the forest further away from you, and them having found their missing pup, they will slink away.
How many were there?
That you saw? 3.
Oh yeah, we would have been fucked. I mean, at the very least, we would have lost all of the goats, and then we would have had to fight the troll. And I cap out at 7 damage per hit, yo. Like,
Bad is not
I
our
ain't
strong
chopping.
point,
Yeah, I ain't chopping down a troll very quickly.
especially not one that knows to hide in the river.
Yeah.
Well, if it's in the river, why don't you electrocute it? And then we can get fish too.
Do I know enough about trolls to know what you have to do to kill a troll?
No, but Wigglesworth does, is that their weakness is fire, not electricity.
Ah, right. They have resistance system like everything else, don't they?
They'll regenerate pretty much any other damage.
Yeah.
Big old pain in the booty holes. Plural.
Indeed. It is getting much darker. Just a moment.
No, absolutely not. Harumph.
Oh, you push.
Nobody important.
Ah, damn it.
But it is dark. How many goats do you bring along with you? 4?
4.
So
And
we had an
the
extra
wolf-
one in case we lost one.
The 3 remaining goats are hiding underneath the cart. It's going to take a bit of maneuvering to get the cart to turn around. Looking up ahead, the trail narrows down to nothing you could get a wagon through. So it is certainly a place to camp for the night, or you're going to have to push on in darkness to find a better place.
I think we camp out for the night.
I think it's bedtime. I am very tired.
Well, y'all can curl up. I will put together cute little beds.
Camping is exciting. Did we bring the requisite ingredients for s'mores?
Not for s'mores.
Oh, a delightful camping treat, Bob. A delightful
Some
camping
more
treat.
what? You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, small. I don't mind walking the thing for a while during the night, since I can see pretty well, as long as there's some light, or well, I already have a torch lit, and they can I'll make cute little beds for them in the wagon that they can rest in until we get to camp.
Watching the goats. What's the setup? You got a tent, or you just bedrolling it on the ground? You having stuff out of the way in the wagon? What?
So the wagon is an option, but I have a tent as well, which is in the wagon.
I have a tarp. I balance a little stick on my head and we put the tarp over me. And that's my tent.
Oh well, yeah. Rather, I have a tarp and a 10-foot pole, which with the wagon and a little bit of rope can make a pretty good sized little thing for us to sleep in.
I basically need a garage.
Yep, sounds good. Setting up a little tent with your cart and some ropes and a tarp. The goats eagerly hide inside, huddling up and scared.
And then we can use Bob's tarp to cover one side of it so that we just have the one open side that the person on watch can sit by too. Or I guess we'd want closed sides because cold. Cold as fuck.
Does get pretty cold. You all are used to, probably the only one who's used to outdoor living. What did you say, Zandra?
I don't even remember. I was just muttering.
Okay.
I did purchase an animal bed for the wagon, so that might be cozy to snooze on.
Ooh.
With the way that you've got the tarp set up, there's like some of you can sleep in the wagon, and some of you could sleep on the ground or on bedrolls on the ground if you wanted.
Or could even
I don't.
if y'all want to sleep in the wagon, I can sleep in the little outdoor thing with the goats, so that way the goats and the horse, so I can keep an eye on the animals. Or whoever's
y'all
on
seen the
watch can
first-
stay out.
Have y'all seen the first Ice Age movie where they throw a blanket over the mammoth and then like the smaller animals crouch in the space between his legs?
Yeah.
Basically the Clydesdale.
And fucking Wigglesworth with his tarp.
Oh, Wigglesworth isn't that big.
No, but one of the goats could sleep with me. I'd keep him warm.
Yeah.
Wigglesworth will
Can
now
Mr.
not
Whiskers
let you
take a
kill
watch?
this goat.
He has a dark vision, which may be helpful on our night watch.
Ooh, perfect.
And because I can speak to rats and it is my familiar, I can talk to Wigglesworth. So Wigglesworth can wake me up and say, hey, guess what's going on?
Oh, fantastic. In a pretty much barely audible sound, too. Like, it's not like rat speech is super easy to hear from far away. Little rat squeaks.
Exactly. Well, then you all snuggle down to sleep for the night. What's the Grippy mentioned watch, and Mr. Whiskers is taking a watch, it sounds like.
I think between the two of us, we can likely, unless y'all want to take
I'm an
watches.
infant.
Yeah, you are baby. You do not have to watch.
So Grippy, then Whiskers, then...
Sounds good. Thrayce will get up early in the morning to prepare wizardy stuff.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Then roll me percentiles for each watch. Grippy first.
Finding them. Oh, gee, where'd I put them waycoats? Sorry, I'm just looking for my D10s. Ah, boy. Go. 81.
Not bad, not bad. It is a peaceful watch. Thrace, roll me for Mr. Whiskers.
Mr. Whiskers gets a 63. I get a
63.
27.
And a 27. Very nice, very nice. No terrible numbers. Being so far off the beaten path, it's not exactly like bandits or anyone else is likely to stumble upon you. You've already made some friends with the wolves, or at least deterred them from attacking you for now. And the extremely local threat of the spider has been taken care of. You are in a window of safety, and the watches go by peacefully.
Grippy spends most of the night in turmoil over having killed the spider, which was just trying to eat just because it was blocking their path.
So
We're
I want to
saving them
clarify, you're
all.
not a monk anymore, Dizzy?
Oh, I am a monk.
Oh, okay.
I am just
who's
convinced that I am a
increased.
druid.
Okay,
Yeah.
so runic body is still useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I am 100% monk class, but profession-wise, I'm a druid.
Okay. I will not
Yeah.
get rid of runic body then.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was, my character will pretty much always introduce himself as a druid, but is a monk for now.
Well, do you do anything to wake everybody up, or do you just let everybody wake up on their own? Thrace?
I use my figment cantrip to make the sound of a little horn going do 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 do. I can't do complex, elaborate music, but I figure just playing a little horn for a second to wake people up is within the bounds of availability.
Yeah, that's fine. Well then, everybody wakes up to crisp cold morning air.
I made breakfast.
Aw, sweet of you, Thrace.
Well, I'm always up early, so I can make tea and such.
Ooh, a
Tea
nice warm cup. One.
Well, after tea and some cheese and fried biscuits, mark a ration off for everybody.
13-day rations.
Now
I'll give a zip tie.
now you've got to decide what to do with your wagon and your route.
Seems like we need to we need to push the wagon back down the path without turning it around, yeah? Because turning it around ain't really an option here.
Just put the Clydesdale on the other end.
Let's put in the cart before the horse. Sorry.
Well, is it if we're going the other way?
Clydesdale can't get around it.
Oh, yeah.
How much weight can telekinetic projectile?
Oh my god.
Let's not throw our horse.
Just over, not long, just over.
And the main problem with trying to jump a car over a ramp or something like that is damaging the undercarriage.
Pretty cool.
In other words, you'll scrape his pee-pee.
No, in other words, you'll break all his legs.
Okay, so 10 pounds of wood is 1 bulk. So
All right, I appreciate you, matey.
and it's
You're
just
welcome in
all
on this if
wagon
you'd like.
we've got?
It's just a wagon. But, I mean, you could theoretically, like, take the wheels off and, like, turn it around and, like, reassemble it.
But as was established, none of us have the craft skill.
Yeah,
That
I'm trying
is-
to figure out how much we can pull, like if we can just drag the wagon ourselves far enough back that the Clydesdale can get out of the way.
Oh, I absolutely can.
You've also got 3 goats to help.
Yeah.
That's true. I do think that might be our best option. Just everybody gets onto the back of it and pulls until there's enough room for the Clydesdale to get around.
Yep.
It's awkward and unwieldy and definitely meant to be steered from the other direction. So there's definitely a few times where it bumps into a tree and it's difficult to waggle it back into moving correctly. But eventually you get it to a spot where you can turn it back around and try to find your path again. No direction, everybody. Sense direction. Survival check.
Survival check. Sense direction. Not sense motive. Sense direction. Isn't quite good enough for me to just click a skill and it'll roll it, unfortunately.
20 for me.
Survival. Will you just roll?
13.
No. Okay. Cool, but you're not that cool, system. Survival is 2 plus 18 is 20.
Wonderful. With the 2 20s here, you are able to find the more well-trodden path. It's even got relatively fresh hoof prints on it, so you know you must be going the right direction. And by midday, you hear running water, and up ahead is a wooden bridge.
Thrace will look at her friends and say, so do we see the goats ahead by themselves, or do we introduce ourselves, or...
I think we
Oh.
send the. Oh, go ahead.
have the shiny.
The shiny is for the golem.
Oh, right.
No, we need to do the thing with the 3 goats in ascending order of size and gruffness.
So I think we just send them to the bridge.
All right. Grippy, you're the one who's best at the command animal action. You're best with animals, so go for it.
I will command the first goat for 25.
Which goat?
The smallest goat. Smallest
With,
and least gruff.
The smallest and least gruff goat will, with your urging, and after untying it, will tentatively go forward and
Ooh.
about do what?
I will distract the other goats.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
that's
going to
important.
ask
I
if
was gonna
somebody
say,
else
we
could
should
distract one of the other goats.
About halfway across the bridge, the smallest goat will stop as the bridge shudders
My fiddle is shrieking.
when a large hand comes over the side, the size of a wagon wheel, and a large troll pulls itself up over the side and thumps down onto the middle of the bridge. The goat rather than turning and fleeing like one would expect, plants its little goat feet and gives a hearty bah. The troll looks confused. Bigger goat? The smaller goat will scream again. Bah! Okay, fine. And the little goat will walk past the troll and off to the other side. The troll is now squinting around.
Wait, does it have shit eyesight?
It does seem to.
Fantastic.
We're goats, guys. Who's
I
the
would
next
like to
biggest?
cast the cantrip Figment on myself to make me look like a shitty goat. Like, as best a goat I can with is clearly crude and undetailed if viewed from within 15 feet.
Wait, I think
Uh,
the troll might speak goat, and that the goat told the troll that there's a bigger goat behind it. So then when we send the next one, the next goat will also tell him that there's a bigger goat behind.
But father, the troll spoke in common.
Well, yes, but it understood the goat.
But it speaks common.
It doesn't
Well,
seem to be able to speak. It's to speak goat, just understand it.
Right.
Ergo, its birth language is most likely common.
Goat. Oh.
No, I think goat is the right option there. I agree.
It is starting. It is starting to squint in your direction.
I
Can I
send
do a
the next
performance
goat.
check to be a goat?
Let's try sending these goats first, just in case.
I think we should trust the song.
We were told to sneak in while it was distracted, weren't we?
That's the goal.
The third goat should defeat the troll, or at least distract it enough that you can get past.
Okay. I still would like to, at some point, roll a performance check.
To what?
Look like a goat.
Okay. Yes, we will have to do that at some point.
That's how we
Thrace, make a command animal check.
Fantastic. That's nature, yeah?
I think so.
Perfect. 1d20 plus 5 is a natural 20 for 25.
Fantastic. Then the second goat will instantly walk up. The troll will squint at it and reach for it, and it will stand its ground and give a bah! What? A bigger goat? Me no fool, you big goat. Bah! A really big goat? Fine. And the second goat will run past to join the smaller one on the other side of the bridge. It will then start squinting back in your direction again. Here, goatee, goatee, goatee.
Bob, do you want to do the honors?
Bob is crying.
Oh, geez. Grippy will take care of it. Dad's gotta do 20 total.
Will successfully command the largest goat to come forward.
Okay, can I cast Figment now to make me look like just a big rock? Like if somebody was playing prop hunt and they got a boulder that was roughly as tall as I am?
Yes.
Perfect.
The troll will squint over the goat, squint around the goat. What, you? The goat will go, no, me no fool, third time, and then grab the goat and proceed to attempt to eat it.
Time to book it.
Yeah, we hoof it to. Can we really get like the horse up to a sprint and try to at least like knock the troll off the bridge though? Like just break into a full gallop and just bull rush his ass.
And make me another command animal check.
Is there an aid another in this?
Nat 20.
Didn't need to. Holy shit.
Unbeknownst to you, the horse actually made really good friends with that goat overnight and is pissed.
Yeah.
Bartholomew charges forward.
Bartholomew to the rescue.
The troll, with bloodied mouth and holding half a goat, looks up just in time to see the Clydesdale bowling ahead at full gallop, cart clattering along behind. Luckily, it was a well-made bridge. You hear the troll say, "Oh, you big goat," and then get thunked over the edge of the bridge.
Good. Fuck him.
As you
That was
continue
for Fluffy.
barreling down through the other side, the goats on the other side will run to keep up with you until you make it far enough away that you're out of sight of the bridge and can slow down.
Oh, rest in peace, little buddy.
Bob is wailing.
In the
Loudly.
arms of the angels.
Thrace and I are like on either side, arm around Bob, singing that.
Bob is just sobbing. Both of you are terribly out of key.
We're not bards, honey.
Okay, y'all gotta check OOC because this is some of the funniest shit I've seen in a while. I'm like, fuck.
I'm getting there.
This isn't a crack house; it's a crack home.
Ideal.
Because they're confusing them with dumpsters. I mean, they
It
do
looks
look awful.
Don't doubt it. Just
Oh
look at
my
it.
gosh.
Looks like a dumpster, which is a shame because I actually thought the Cybertruck looked cool. Like I was never gonna buy a Tesla, but I actually liked the silhouette of the low polygon truck.
I mean, I like that it actually looks like a concept car.
Did you
But
know that
There's a reason those don't get made.
there was a Macintosh car design from like the 90s on Apple computers, 90s or 80s, I don't remember. But the Cybertruck has almost an identical silhouette to what that old car designing game considered the most aerodynamic.
Oh wow.
It literally, the profile from the side could have just been the design from that game.
Man. As you slow down and mourn the death of Fluffy, the gruffiest goat, it is 8 o'clock and time to end our game.
GG.
GG, everybody.
GG, y'all. Love you very much.
That was a blast.
Let me find
amazing.
XP real quick. Figure out how to do XP real quick.
I posted the message in OOC. Car builder for the Apple II.
Yes, yes.
Sari level XP award. Party level
XP
-1
wolf
for the
and that
Dream
spider.
Spider.
Oh, all those wolves. We solved the crisis, the encounter.
Working on it. Dream Spider appears to be level 0. So level -1. Everybody gets 30 XP. Wolves.
How many people's in here?
Level 1.
Three, and then so 4 total in the.
Equal.
Party XP that is gained goes to each individual member of the party. For instance, if the party wins a battle with 100 XP, they each get 100 XP.
Yes.
Even if the party's bonus amounts.
That's so weird. I'm reading the rules on XP. It's whack.
Yes, I just got.
If here, I'm sending you something.
That's for building.
But it still shows you the XP outcomes for levels.
EXP, 30 XP for the spider, 80 XP for the wolves, and then 80 XP for the troll.
So 190?
Yes, 190 total for everybody.
Oh,
Rather, 190 each.
yes.
Luckily, you did your research beforehand and didn't have to fight the troll head on. You still overcame the obstacle, so I gave you half XP. Same with the wolves. You essentially overcame 4 of them, so I gave you XP for 2. And then you straight up killed the dream spider, so I gave you a full XP for that.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, kind.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was an amazing session. I'm loving this.
I'm excited.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's definitely a interesting little tone shift.
Yeah.
But I will see you all next week.
Next week.
Sounds
Yay.
good. See you next week.
You
Bye.
Goodbye.